Hi, Caroline. Hi, Elodie. Hi, Tamim and Uwais and Ignacio and Michael. I really wish I could have been with all of you last Saturday, but I had somewhere very, very special that I needed to go. And I am happy that I can be with you on your computers right now. I only wish that I could see your artwork and hear all about the things that you did last week. So you will have lots of things to share with me on Saturday. And I can't wait to see you then. So today I am reading to you chapter 6 of Olga and the Smelly Thing from Nowhere by Elise Gravel. I thought we were on chapter 6 last time, but we were on chapter 5. So let's do chapter 6. And if you don't have time to watch this video before Saturday, don't worry, we'll go over chapter 6 and some of the questions that I'm going to ask. Okay, and at the end of this video, you should know this. At the end of this video, I am going to ask questions like I always do. And your questions are important too. I hope that you can talk about these questions with your family and friends. You can watch this video whenever you want, of course. And after a question, I will go like this. And when I do this, you can pause the video and talk about the question. Feel free to skip over questions that you're not interested in and talk about the ones that interest you the most. And remember, your questions are the most important, so be sure to ask any that come up. All right, chapter 6, Stuff and Things and More. Observation number 18. Met is probably dying of starvation. What a horrible pet owner I am. I tried everything I could find around my house. Where could I find foods that an Olgamus would like? I knew just the place. It was some kind of corner store, but in fact, it was much more than that. It was called Stuff and Things and More. It had, and food and tools and plants. We have the best fake American mustaches. Wow. Come on in, we're open. What do you think about the name of that store? Mr. Hoopa, the owner of the store, was a pretty nice man. He had the face of a turtle with a long, skinny body, but a very round tummy, as though he had just swallowed a basketball. Here's Mr. Hoopa. He's saying, "Hello, dear customers." And it points to some hair and a pink shirt. And when it points to his belly and says, "Baby?" ? I like his boots. I like them a lot. Mr. Hoopa's corner store was hard to describe. There were so many strange things in there. You could get lost even though it was tiny. There's a plastic fortune-telling broccoli plant that says you will fart 38 times tomorrow. There's scratch and sniff nail polish in meatloaf scent. There's a glow-in-the-dark toilet brush. Would you want one of those? Could be useful. There's Bora the Exploder foot massager. There's a light-up musical litter box. It's singing, "You Are My Sunshine." I can't sing very well. And there's human-sized peanut butter jar. It says creamy squirrel peanut butter. And there's Bip Bebop Band-Aids. Remember, Bip Bebop is the singer that the Lalas like. And nacho scented toilet paper. Wow, that's a lot of interesting stuff. "Hello, wonderful customers," said Mr. Hoopa as I walked in. "Hey, it's my favorite one. Olga, what brings you in this afternoon?" I took Meh out of my backpack and Mr. Hoopa's jaw dropped. What is that creature? Meh. It's an Ogamus ridiculus, I explained, a new species that I discovered. He hasn't eaten anything in days because I can't find anything he likes. He must be famished or worse, dying. Can you help me find out what he eats? Okay. Have you tried cat food and dog food? Yep. Turtle food, squirrel food, skunk food? No. Octopus food? Octopus food? No, I haven't. Well, adorable customer, you haven't tried everything then. Wait a minute, I'll be right back. He disappeared behind a back of the store door that no customer in history has ever been allowed to enter. Clank bonk, and it says, fantastic customer, keep out. And it's top secret, no trespassing. Smile, you're being filmed. And there's lots of interesting things stacked up beside the door. Finally, Mr. Hoopa stepped through the doors looking hot and tired and carrying an armful of foods I had never seen on his shelves. Let's see what we have here. One by one, he opened a package or jar and placed it in front of Meh. Fried seagull sausages? Meh. Canned potato skins? Meh. Dried toe fruit? Meh. Pickled eel heads? Meh. Roasted chicken knuckles? Meh. Dried pimple mushrooms? Meh. Powdered minnows? Meh. Preserved eggshells with mustard? Meh. This animal is extremely odd indeed, said Mr. Hoopa. How can anyone not like dried pimple mushrooms? They are my favorite. Mr. Hoopa looked discouraged, so I picked Meh up and was about to leave when Meh started freaking out in my arms. Dow, 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 dow. He jumped out of my arms, ran like I'd never seen him run, and then jumped on the counter, ending up face first in a bowl of olives that Mr. Hoopa always offers to his customers. You can see Meh running and jumping, and thump, he's face first in the bowl of olives. I think we have a winner, exclaimed Mr. Hoopa, watching the Ogamus stuff his face with olives. Nobody ever wants my olives. I'm glad someone does. And did he ever enjoy them? There's Meh, and he's going grumph, flarf, grubble, grubble, org, cruff, slurp, glorp, munch, blarf. He's not saying Meh right now. Meh was still tearing through the olive bowl when Mr. Hoopa's door chime rang. In walked the Lalas. Ew, it smells horrible in here. No wonder, it's that fart balloon again. Ew. And there's Meh, still face first in the olives. Fart balloon? Oh, how the Lalas get on my nerves. Grrr. And we talked about what to do if you're angry with someone like the Lalas. We had a conversation about that. Observation number 19. The Lalas are bad for my fingernails. The Lalas went to the magazine rack and started looking through the latest copy of Twerp Girl magazine, which is the only thing they read. There we go. It says, make your own bikini using pasta. Boys, do they like your toenails? Observation number 20. I'll have to read one of those someday. To study them, I mean, as a scientist. And there's an issue of Twerp Girl, and I think that might be Bebop on the cover, and it said, oh, Bip Bop. Bip Bebop, and it says, is he in love with you? And then some issues about beauty and the latest armpit trends, and of course, Bip Bebop. Met had finished the bowl of olives and was off somewhere. I found him napping on a pile of boxes of sauerkraut flavored corn chips. You're sleepy now, huh? Let's talk to Mr. Hoopa and get you home. Ruffs. Apparently, ruffs, ruffs is how Meh snores. Can you make that sound? Ruffles. I'm not sure I did it right. I bought 5 jumbo jars of olives from Mr. Hoopa, picked up Meh, and left. Meh went all limp and soft in my arms. I'm in love. Isn't he absolutely adorable? What do you think? Do you think Meh is adorable? The most important question, of course, is what did you think about this chapter and what did it make you think about? Let's look back at the beginning of the chapter. The store is called Stuff and Things and More. Imagine that this was a store that contained everything. Everything in the universe is available in this store, Stuff and Things and More. So, what kind of things would be in a store that sells everything? Would love be in that store? Would fear or anger be in that store? Happiness? Would beauty be in that store? What would those things look like? Love, fear, anger, beauty. Are those things that you can buy? Imagine, once again, that this store contains everything in the universe. Would it also contain nothing? What do we mean when we talk about nothing? And let's look a little, just one page over, and here is a picture of Mr. Hoopa. And remember, she describes him as having a face like a turtle, a long skinny body, but with a very round tummy, as if he had just swallowed a basketball. And she points to the tummy in her observation notebook and says, baby, question mark. So do you think that Mr. Hoopa would like being described as having a face like a turtle and a tummy like he had swallowed a basketball? Do you think that that's a nice thing or a mean thing to say? Remember to say why when you give your answers. Do you think that it would hurt Mr. Hoopa's feelings if he knew that Olga had written that in her observation notebook? Is it okay to write something down that might seem a little mean if you're doing it for science? If Olga is only interested in telling the truth, is it okay for her to say that Mr. Hoopa has a tummy like he swallowed a basketball? And let's move a little bit forward again. let's see. All these interesting things in the store. I think the thing I would most like to own is a glow in the dark toilet brush, because if you needed it in the dark, you could find it. I don't know when you might need a toilet brush in the dark, but you never know. Okay, so they feed Matt all these different foods, or they try to feed Matt. And then they figure out that he likes the olives, and the Lalas come in. It does seem that Olga is pretty, she says, Lalas get on my nerves. Do you remember some of the things we were talking about when we were talking about what happens, what it's like when someone like the Lalas gets on your nerves? And I'm really interested. Olga says that she might want to read one of the magazines that the Lalas read, but just to study them as a scientist. Do you think that's really why she wants to read the magazines? The magazines, as we know, have lots to do with Bip Bebop, who is a pop star the Lalas love, but it also has to do with making yourself look beautiful. What do you think about making yourself look beautiful? Is it okay to care about whether or not you're beautiful, or is it not okay? Are there times when it's good to care about how you look and times when it would not be good? Okay, well, that's really interesting. But it does say, boys, do they like your toenails? Do you think it's okay to be particularly concerned about what boys think of you? Is it ever okay to care what people think of you? How much does what other people think of you matter? Okay, that's all the questions I have for today. I can't wait to see you on Saturday for chapter 7 at last. Little heart, big heart, and I'll see you on Saturday. Bye. Bye, Elodie. Bye, Caroline. Bye, Tamim. Bye, Uways. Bye, Ada. Bye, Ignacio. Bye, Michael. See you on Saturday.